So with the release of the Marvel Spider-Man 2 art book, we actually got a lot of different information on a lot of different characters, different, things that could have gone on in the story, just a lot of things that they kind of ended up changing as the development went on. And one of these things, as you can see on the screen here, is the evolution of the symbiote suit. Now, this is actually particularly interesting because I've had my own ideas for this, and I definitely want to see if you guys agree with my own take on this in the comments below after we have a look at what's on the screen here. So it seems that, it's not the most like high quality image that we got here, but it seems like they originally planned quite a few different stages, right, before they got to that final Symbiote Surge version, right? The completely like where Peter's just really corrupt. So it kind of feels like it starts off with what we got at first, and then the actual emblem kind of changes, and it's kind of hard to tell all the differences here with the suit, but it just kind of looks like the emblem kind of changes, right, over time, and then it ends up turning into this here, which is the actual Symbiote Surge suit, which is actually pretty interesting. Now, I do feel like maybe if we had a high resolution image here, maybe the suit would have like had different segments on it or different details and things as it evolved. But I had my own ideas for this, and as you know, for the base game of Marvel Spider-Man 2, this is the evolution path that we got. So we just had the actual black suit, and then he went into the symbiote suit. That's realistically all that kind of happened in the story in terms of the evolution. And then of course, we got the anti-venom suit in Act 3, which is interesting. It's a pretty cool design, but and this video isn't for me to say, oh, the way it's originally done isn't good. It's fine, and I've got no issues with it whatsoever, but I just kind of thought this would be a fun little video to make. So we're gonna get into it. If you're new to the channel, make sure to drop a like and subscribe. I truly appreciate it. And now we're gonna get started with the very first the original kind of symbiote suit. I feel like that should have been in the game, and the original symbiote suit that we should have had when the costume first gets onto Peter should have been something like this. So it kind of just goes over the actual like symbiote, well, it goes over the actual Advanced Suit 2.0 and just kind of changes the color palette. And I know a lot of you guys are going to be like, oh, that's kind of stupid, that's kind of lazy or whatever, but I'm just going off of the sort of slowly morphing Spider-Man as his personality kind of progresses into the more aggressive and darker tones. It would only be fitting to kind of have it go from something that looks like this to then evolve into that symbiote suit that we all know, right? And I think that I kind of dig it a lot, and I love the way that they did it in Spectacular Spider-Man, where it kind of evolved. Because at first it was the same thing, right? The costume just kind of went over his classic suit, changed it to black, and then with the white emblems, and then slowly it evolved into that version that we saw towards the end, where Peter was getting really corrupted, and then Flash Thompson snapped him out of it. So as you could see, I'm really glad that they added this version here as well. And if you didn't know, originally in Marvel Spider-Man Remastered, a suit like this was in the files, and it was going to be pretty much the symbiote suit, but they held off on making it an alternate costume or something like that in the game, because they obviously had plans to use this suit here in Marvel Spider-Man 2, and obviously they kind of just added this as an Easter egg nod to that previous design. And something that I really love about this one is the white lenses on the suit as well. And then you go to the back here, I just think this is neat. I originally didn't like it, but when you have this one and you use the symbiote tendrils, like it actually does kind of work well. And obviously you have all the rest of the black and white details. But my sort of evolution for this type of symbiote suit is gonna take a twist, right? And then we're gonna kind of go here, and you guys are gonna be like, wait a minute, what is bro talking about? And well, I feel like it should only evolve into the classic black suit next. And as the evolution goes on, obviously that emblem changes, right? It would change to this. The lenses as well would kind of grow like as they did there. And I like it, right? Let's play the actual like symbiote goopy effects there as well. But as you can see, the classic suit would have been really cool to include in the evolution style, because then you'd be paying homage to the classic design. while then still further evolving it down the road. However, I don't think, that, they did anything wrong in terms of like not paying homage, because they did. Their symbiote suit pretty much has the classic logo and the classic lenses. All they did was add extra kind of armor and like fleshy bits, which I actually really like and think is a pretty cool design. But as you can see, you've got the classic one here, and it's such a fantastic design. Like, you can never ever go wrong with the classic symbiote suit, and that's why I wanted to include this in the evolution, because to me personally it feels right. And then let me know in the comments below as well what you guys think in terms of including this one in the evolution. So then, we're going to the next one, and you can already probably tell where we're going to go with this next one, but we've got to go with the actual regular black suit, because I feel like maybe eventually through the evolution the suit kind of armors itself up. It sees all of these crazy like enemies that Spider-Man's fighting, like Kraven the Hunter, the Lizard. And the Lizard was fantastic in this game, like an absolute behemoth of a monster, right? So it kind of sees itself, well, it was kind of already armored on Harry, so it's like it slowly morphs onto Peter's suit, imprints itself, and then adds the armor after that classic version, which I think would be pretty cool. And then of course, as you could see here, you've got these like really like gross fleshy bits, which I really like. Actually, I think it's cool because it's kind of like a flesh under the armor, right? Because you've got like an exoskeleton above the actual flesh, and I really genuinely enjoy that a lot. And then we'll have a look at the back here as well of the suit. You can kind of see on the neck there, it's still fleshy. It's like a weird helmet, right? Like, you've got this fleshy bit in the back. And I absolutely love the logo choice for this suit. It feels very classic, and I really like it. And then of course, as we do further progress with this actual suit, it then eventually turns into this. As you know, when he touches that meteorite, for some weird reason it ends up transforming him into this. It's almost like an absolute precursor to Venom, because if you look at Venom himself, it's just this, but like with the teeth and the tongue and like the huge size as well, which I don't really understand why Harry ended up like beefing up so much. I guess the symbiote just had enough, really. But I feel like that's what Peter would have eventually become when it comes to him being possessed by that symbiote, right? He was just being absolutely like done dirty and things like that. And then I'm going to show you the graphic of how I think this should have looked like. Okay, so I just jumped into Photoshop real quick and then made a graphic here as to that like proper evolution. And as you can see, this is kind of what I imagined, or I would have preferred to have. And obviously, thanks to like, being able to do New Game Plus or whatever, you can kind of just do that for yourself and just switch out all of these suits during like actual gameplays through the story. So you can see there's the first one, which is the advanced suit. I'll just remove my webcam here for this. So the advanced suit, symbiote suit, right? Looks pretty nice. Then, we go into the classic, which again does look pretty nice too. Then that evolves into the actual like, regular black suit here from like the Insomniac like version. And then finally we have the Symbiote Surge, which is the actual final evolution of this. So what do you think? Adding 2 extra like, symbiote suits beforehand of the actual Insomniac ones, do you think that works, or do you just prefer it the way it is? Let me know in the comments below. Watch another video here. Thanks so much for watching. Have an absolute wonderful day. Peace.